in the post office. One of the most important things that a new leader should have, whether you are a unit head, a wing commander, commanding general of the Philippine Air Force, congressman, secretary of a cabinet, in the cabinet, the first goal is to achieve credibility. It's not enough that you have the power of the appointment. Hindi pwedeng sinabi na appointee ako na ang boss na yun. You must earn that credibility in the organization, and the way to earn that is by looking for high impact but modest projects in order to gain credibility and then gradually go into bigger goals. And I mentioned that already. One of the first things that I did was by restructuring the system in the airmail distribution center. And my target there was the business sector. Families who were receiving letters from their fathers who were at that time, hindi pa uso yung Hong Kong no? Ang uso nun was a lot of workers working in Saudi Arabia. So marami nagreklamo doon, yung mga sulat nila, it would take 2 weeks, but we were able to heal that immediately, to cure it immediately by focusing on the airmail distribution center, which in my view was very easy to handle kasi nasa loob na isang confined area and you can physically watch the operation there. And then we had the 2-day to the United States. It shocked the businessmen. It shocked a lot of people that the relatives would be telling them, hey, what's happening in the Philippines? You sent me a letter November 3. This is November 4 in LA. I already have your letter. And they started talking about this. They wrote letters to the president. They talked about it in media. And it helped me in establishing my credibility as a 34-year-old postmaster general during that time. But I would not have done it if I did not focus on those little but high-impact projects. Mahirap kung masyado marami yung goals mo kagad. If you think that you are the big man there, the big boss, the big hancho, who's there to revolutionize everything, to change everything overnight, that cannot be done. Look at what's happening in the United States right now, President Obama. This is, I think, the first year anniversary of his election as President of the United States. Pero yung rating niya, bumababa. And a lot of political analysts are saying that the reason for that is because he's trying to handle too many things at the same time. He wanted to have this stimulus package, and at the same time, he wanted to have his health program. He wanted to talk about energy. He wanted to solve Afghanistan, to solve Iran, to solve Iraq, and so many other problems, not to mention many domestic problems like getting involved in some local gubernatorial and senatorial elections that are happening right now in the United States. And analysts are saying that the reason for that is that kulang siya sa focus. He should have focused on just maybe 2 or 3 major items in the United States instead of trying to solve practically every problem that is happening in the United States today. So start with modest but high impact projects, but accelerate fast to bigger goals. Number 9. Pwede bang tumulungan ako rito sa ano? Just to open the... Thank you. Number 9, self-discipline. Again, this is something not foreign to us here in the military. We were trained for this, self-discipline, passion. But I would like to add something, and that is having the stamina for long hours of work, and work. Napoleon, again, a lot of people would say, oh, he won wars because he was very brilliant. He majored in mathematics in their academy in France. He was a brilliant commander. But again, if you look at the biography of Napoleon, you would find out that he won a lot of wars because of legs. not the legs of that Colonel Ortiz is thinking of right now, but the legs of soldiers. He was able to motivate his soldiers to march for hours overnight so that he would be there in the point of contact, in the point of conflict ahead of the other armies. So by the time that the other armies would be reaching that strategic crossroad, he would be there already, well rested, after a night of hard, continuous work. Marcha, forced march. Napoleon is known for being able to develop an army that could march faster and longer than the other armies during his time. Faster and longer than the British army, the Austrian army, the Italian armies, the Prussian armies. And he won it through self-discipline, through stamina, the ability to work hard for long hours. A lot of people are saying, Michael Jordan is very talented. That's the reason why he's a very good basketball player. But a lot of people don't realize that he became so talented because of his long hours of practice. He was already one of the top basketball players, but he would still practice longer. Ali was considered a great boxer because, according to a lot of people, because of his talent. But then they forget that the reason why Ali became so talented was because of the long hours that he spent training. I became boxing champion in Naval Academy. Some people would say, si Golez is very talented, he's a very good boxer. But they forget that I was able to develop a left hook through long hours of training, a left hook that my opponents could not solve during my 4 years in the Naval Academy. But I could not have done that without the long hours I spent developing that left hook that until now, some of you might want to test. Pwede pa rin, paano? You can see that on YouTube. Pacquiao. Again, some people are saying that Pacquiao is so talented, is a brilliant boxer, but they forget that he became like that because of long hours of training also. And the same is true in our work, in our career. Some people again would mention all my landslide victories in Parañaque. I won by landslide in 92, in 95, in 98, in 2004, and then again in 2007. And some people say, si Golez is very lucky, maybe because of his background. But they forget also that I would spend long hours during campaigning. That I would spend long hours, not during campaigning, but during the period between elections. It would always be a non-stop work, and during my time in the post